We are recording.
Awesome.
So start us off.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight, as you can tell, Becky and I are hosting our team call together because it just makes sense for us just to kill two birds with one stone. And Becky and I plan our year, our month, our weeks together, and we set our goals together. Now, they're not the exact same goals because we're two different people with two different families and two different visions for our lives. But we thought we have a similar thought process. We read the same personal development books. We watch the same personal development webinars and YouTube videos, and we listen to the same podcast. And so we are on board with the same sort of goal planning methodology, I guess. And there's a million ways of how you can goal set. This is just one way that has worked for me in the past, and it just makes sense. It's not difficult. You don't need any fancy software. You don't need a special planner. You don't need anything other than your brain, your creativity, your vision, and a spiral. That's it. A 99-cent spiral from Walmart.
Mine are sometimes $2 because I like the cute ones.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to add to it, or you want to jump into the slides?
Let's just jump into the slides. So
Okay.
Let me share my screen. And so here we go. So this is our goal setting and creating a vision board. So Michele, do you want to start with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're starting with goal setting, y'all, you need to remove all self-doubt, remove all limitations. Don't ever think that I can't do this or this isn't possible. And I'm not just talking about your business goals. I'm talking about your goals for your family, your church goals, your goals for your kids. I mean, everything, not just business goals, but clear your head of the clutter, clear your head of any self-doubt, and just be open to getting it all out on paper, and when you hear those little nudges in your gut and in your soul, that's God just pushing you a little bit outside your comfort zone for a reason. So those little nudges, those come from God, and that's what you need to take and run with. So just dream big. Don't think that anything is too small. And in the beginning, if you're new to goal planning, you may start small because you're afraid of putting something out there that's too big and, in your mind, unachievable. But as you continue to goal plan or to set your goals and to plan out your year, those goals are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because you're going to gain more confidence. You're going to be reading more personal development. You're going to have a little bit more success, and it's just going to snowball. And those goals will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. With that being said, you don't just do this on January 1st and call it a year. You need to consistently be goal planning or goal setting, whether it's once a week or once a month. I would say at the very, very, very least, it would be once a month. Because your goals are going to change, because you're going to have some goals that are small and short-term and attainable right away, and some goals that are long-term, and it's going to take you many, many months, maybe even years to get there. So you need to constantly be revisiting your goals. And I have that third bullet point as know that this is the master of all skills. Brian Tracy is one of he wrote Eat That Frog. And he, one year, completely transformed his life by learning how to be a master goal setter, and not just setting goals and forgetting about them, but really, really diving into those goals, figuring out the action steps, and running with it. And you can change your life in a year if you take goal setting seriously, and if you really, really learn about it and you apply what you have learned. So like I already said, you're going to set goals in all areas of your life, not just your business goals and Beachbody. You need to think, everything, every aspect of your life. You need to get a separate goal setting notebook, because it's not just something you put on one sheet of paper and that's it. You are going to be coming back to this list every single week, every single month. You're going to be rewriting it. You're going to be looking at it. You're going to be revising it. You're going to be tweaking it. You're going to be scratching things off. And you just need to have a notebook. And it's fun to go back and see previous year's notebooks and just see where your mindset was then compared to now. So don't ever throw them away either. It's kind of like a little diary. You want to brain dump a dream list, like everything you can imagine. Sit down with your spouse or your partner and just sit down at the kitchen table and just pour everything out. You know, do you want a boat? Do you want a lake house? Do you want a timeshare in Mexico? Do you want to stay at home with your family? Do you want to retire your husband? Do you want to get a new mattress? I mean, every single little thing, dream big and just put it all on there. Do you want to be able to subscribe to HelloFresh every single week? I mean, whatever it is, put it on there. There is no such thing as a list that's too big. That's why it's called a brain dump. And Chalene Johnson talks about this in her book, Push, which if you haven't read Push yet, you really should get it. It's New York Times bestseller. And it's a few years old, but she has just revised it. It's at the publishers now. It's going to be re-released. And whenever it is re-released, I suggest that you get it and you really pay attention to what she says, because she is a master goal setter and goal achiever at that. But she believes in this massive brain dump. I wrote on here, there is no unrealistic goal, but there is unrealistic goal day. So for example, if your goal is to be make $1 million, well, don't put that goal date as a year from now, because you're not going to be making $1 million a year from now. So just be realistic about your goals. Keep the goal there, but just don't put a date that's not attainable. So, and I'm not going to talk about SMART goals, but we all know what SMART goals are, you know, that they're specific, measurable, attainable, and all that stuff. But so just make sure your goals have all those qualities and that the dates are realistic. I highly recommend that you do this on paper. Like I said, because you can go back and you can scratch it off and you can add to it and you can see it years from now. And it's just, there's something therapeutic about just pen to paper and just brain dumping everything out. As you're doing this, I want you to think about who you want to be, health-wise, career-wise, personality-wise, the type of mom you want to be, the type of wife you want to be, the type of friend you want to be. That's what you need to project into your goal list. And that's what you want to project on your social media and to your friends and to your followers and to your challengers and to your coaches. Because when you start projecting that, you start receiving that back. So you don't want to put a foot forward that is a negative Nancy that is always saying, you know, I am overweight, or I just can't do this, or I don't attract enough people, or nobody likes my post. Because guess what? That's going to be what you receive back from the universe. Instead, you know, think of yourself as, you know, I am an achiever. I attract awesome people. You know, people want to do business with me. I am a good friend. I am, you know, an awesome wife. I'm a great mom. I'm involved in my community. If you start believing that stuff about yourself and putting that out, then those are the types of people that you are going to attract. And those types of people are the people who are going to make your business really thrive. Those who, you know, want to do business with you because of you, not because of what you're selling. So just think about that. Okay. All right. You're going to take this one?
Sure. So here are just some step-by-step ways to do this. And, you know, it's something that you can do, like Michele said, you know, week after week, month after month. You want to do it more than just January 1st. So, but January 1st is when the beginning of the year is when your big brain dump is going to happen. You're going to really talk about all of those goals. And then each week you can either build, cross off. And so first of all, like Michele said, do it on pen and paper. I always like to go back and look at my goals from the past few years and see, you know, if I hit them. And if I did, great. If I didn't, do I want to strive for more? Do I want to strive for that again? And how am I going to get there? So Get out that pen and paper. The second thing is go someplace quiet where you're going to have no distractions whatsoever. So for example, I'm in my bathroom right now because no one bothers me in here except for the dog sometimes. But go someplace that's quiet where you're not going to have any distractions. So maybe after your kids are in bed and your husband's watching TV, or, after everyone's left for work for work and school, and you're home, somewhere you're not going to have distractions. There's not dinner to be made. There's not kids who need you, not phone calls to be made, stuff like that. So go someplace quiet where you have no distractions and you can really just sit down and think about all of these things that you want. Now, step 3 is to write out your priorities. And the reason your priorities are coming before your goals is because when you're writing your goals, you want to keep in mind what's most important to you so that you don't forego those priorities to meet those goals. And so Mindy Wender, who is an amazing coach within Beachbody, one of her goals one year was to be in the top 10 with Beachbody. And she did this right away in her business. And she was striving and working really hard to get into the top 10. And she didn't make it. I think she ended at like 11. But the top 10 prize that she was going for was traveling to Italy and going bike riding and doing all of this stuff. Well, number 1, she doesn't like bike riding. Number 2, she has a young child who she wasn't going to leave home by themselves. And number 3, it wasn't something her and her husband were going to do together. So she was going for this big goal, but she didn't have her priorities straight at that time. She wouldn't have gone had she reached that goal. So you want to keep those priorities in line and make sure that you know what you want and where you want to be. So if your family is a huge priority, you can't be sitting and working every single night after your kids go to bed while your husband's watching TV. And so really focus on those priorities. And I know that that's something that I struggle with and I need to keep in mind as well. I was telling Michele about this the other day, but make sure that you know what's important to you and write those priorities down first. Then write down your 5 to 10 goals. So maybe you want to start with 5 and then work towards 10, but really you should have at least 10 goals and organize them by long-term goals, medium-term goals, and short-term goals. So maybe your short-term goal for this month, if we're talking Beachbody wise, is hit Success Club 5. Okay, so that would be a short-term goal. Maybe a medium-term goal is to be Diamond by Summit. And a long-term goal would maybe be 2-star Diamond by the end of the year, okay? So if you're talking in terms of Beachbody, or maybe if you're talking about in terms of your fitness, a short-term goal might to be, work out 4 to 5 times this week. Your medium goal would be to complete Core de Force. Your long-term goal would be to create a plan for the next 3 months, of where you want to be with your fitness. So write down those goals and organize them with long-term, medium-term, and short-term. Just like Michele said, if you want to make $1 million, like that's not going to be a short-term goal. It would be amazing, but it's not a short-term goal. So then after you've written down those goals, list the ways that you can achieve those goals. So if we're going back to business goals, if we want to hit Success Club 5, okay, how are you going to achieve that? Well, you have to reach out to people. You have to talk to people. You have to post about it. You have to share your story publicly online. You have to be vulnerable. Okay, so I just gave you 5 things that you can do in order to reach Success Club 5. Another one you can do is follow up with people who you've talked to in the past. Okay, so create your 5 to 10 goals and then create ways to achieve each and every single one of those goals. So you have these 10 goals and then you have 5 to 10 ways to achieve each goal. And so now you've got 50 things that you can do. And then review them. If you've done Chalene Johnson's 30-day push, she has you write your goals once a week at the same time in the same place, on this, well, not the same piece of paper, but the same setup. And you can't look at the goals from the week before. And then after that, you go back and look. But so you review them every single week. Review them. And share them with people, but only with people who are supportive. So obviously Michele and I share our goals with each other because we support each other within this business. So share it with your husband, share it with your best friend, share it with someone who's going to support you, share it with your upline coach, because we would be there to support you. And when you're writing these goals, just like Michele said, you need to write them as if you've done them. So I am a Success Club 5 All-Star, or I am hitting Success Club 5 this month. I am hitting Success Club 5 for the next 12 months. And visualize yourself doing that. So how are you going to feel when you hit Success Club 5? How are you going to feel when you hit Success Club 10? I will tell you that it is January 4th. And I have locked in Success Club 10 for this month. And it feels amazing. Like I feel like a huge weight has been lifted, but I have been working my booty off for the past 2 weeks, talking to people and getting people into my January health bet. So now that doesn't mean I'm going to quit because I've hit Success Club 10. I'm going to keep going, but I've hit it. So I've reached that goal. So now I can strive for higher. And so visualize yourself reaching those goals. One of my goals last year was to be able to surprise my husband with a 40th birthday trip to Mexico. And I was so excited, and his birthday's in March, and I was able to book the trip in October, and I had to keep it a secret. And it was so exciting for me, and I felt so amazing that I was able to pull this off. And when he finally found out about it as we were driving to the airport, it just made all of that so much better. And so visualize how you're going to feel, how you're going to get there. And when you get there, it just makes it that much better. And talk about those goals, and like we said, review them.
Go back one slide. I want to talk about a couple of things.
Okay.
So on step 4, when you're writing down your 5 to 10 goals, after you write those down on one sheet of paper, I want you to turn to a fresh sheet of paper, and at the top, just like Becky said, you're going to write down one of those goals in the tense that you have already achieved it. I am Success Club 5 All-Star. And then underneath that is you're going to do step 5. You're going to list and brainstorm all the different ways that's going to help you become a Success Club 5 All-Star. So you're breaking it down into smaller goals and smaller action steps. So if you have a goal of connecting with 10 people, 10 new conversations every single day, that's really not a goal. That's more of an action step that's going to get you to a bigger goal. So when you are thinking about all these different goals you have, usually there's one that that's the mother of all goals. So for example, for myself, my mother of all goals would be to make $1,500 a week. Because if I can make $1,500 a week, a lot of things can happen. I can potentially resign from my teaching career. I can help Caitlin pay for her college tuition. I can get a new car. I can pay off some of my credit card debt. I can take my family on vacation without having to search for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for the absolute cheapest place that is not totally gross. So many things will happen if I can just achieve that one goal. But underneath that one goal is a whole bunch of other goals. Like I need to be hitting Success Club 10. I need to be recruiting 3 to 5 coaches every single month. I need to be rank advancing. I need to be teaching my team how to rank advance and how to recruit and how to hit Success Club. So all these little trickle down goals lead towards my big push goal, which is what Chalene Johnson calls your one big mother goal, that if you can achieve that, everything else will fall into place. So with that being said, you take one sheet of paper, you put one goal at the top, and underneath that, you're going to do step 5. You're going to list every single thing that you can imagine that you can do to help achieve that goal. Turn the page, write another goal down. You're going to list all the different ways on that one sheet of paper of what you can do to help you achieve that goal. And y'all, you're going to do this every single week or every single month. Don't just do it January 1st and that's it and forget about it. I promise you, the more you review your goals and you write them down and you pray about them and you visualize them coming into fruition, the more of these goals are going to come into fruition. I promise you that. It's not just going to happen by accident. You do not become successful in this business, in any business, by accident at all. Everything is very purposeful. All right, now we can go on.
Okay.
Okay, creating a vision or dream board. So the little pictures that you see are the vision boards. It's a couple of mine, one from 2015, one to 2016, and then Becky's is the cute little chevron one. Ours were electronic because, you know, Becky's a technology teacher and I'm a big, huge techie person. But I'm kind of feeling the urge to go old school this year and do it on a bulletin board or a poster board or something. I don't know. I just feel this urge to get crafty with it. But it doesn't matter how you do your vision board, as long as you do one. And I did mine. Those two that you see were just on like an 8x10. And so literally I saved it as an image, as a JPEG, an 8x10, and I sent it to CVS and I printed like 3 copies of it. One is by my computer in my bedroom where I do all my Beachbody work. One is in my closet, and another one is at school by my desk. And so I'm looking at mine right now because I know exactly, I mean, it's hung up right there. And so every single day I'm looking at what's on my vision board, and I'm asking myself, you know, have I made this happen? How close am I to this happening? Am I being consistent? Am I hitting these? Did I reach to, like, my very first vision board I did whenever I first became a coach? I put top 10 on there. Like, I'm not going to hit top 10 within 6 months of becoming a Beachbody coach. What am I thinking? You know, I had elite on there. You know, I didn't know what any of these things meant. And so as my career has progressed, now I know what's achievable. So on my 2016 board, I'm not going to put top 10 because I'm not going to get top 10 this year. I have a lot of growth to do. And y'all, I'm still working full time. So I'm not going to be that naive and think, oh, if I just put it on there, it's going to happen. No, I'm going to do something. I'm just going to put elite on there. I'm going to put top 200. I'm going to do something that I can achieve. That is, but that's a big stretch goal for me. But you, like I wrote on here, you know, close your eyes, start visualizing your goals, becoming your reality. And then you guys can find pictures that represent your visions or your goals. I went to Google Images. I, you know, just saved a whole bunch, and I used PicMonkey to do both of those vision boards. You could use Canva. You can just copy and paste them into a Word document. There's a million ways of how you can create an electronic one, and y'all are so, you know, smart that you probably have, you know, your own little fun way of doing it. Or you can do old school poster board, bulletin board, and grab you a bunch of magazines and cut pictures out and put them on there. And notice on mine, they're not just Beachbody related. I've got, you know, there's OU on there. There's, because my daughter goes to the University of Oklahoma, I want to help her pay for her tuition. I have the First United Methodist cross symbol or church cross symbol on there because one year I wanted to find a church home. The next year I wanted to connect more in that church home. So it's not just about Beachbody. You put everything on there. You know, you can put trips on there. You can put houses on there. You can put cars on there. Whatever it is that's your vision, put it on there and look at it every single day. Pray about it, think about it, close your eyes, visualize it. It's nothing that you just slap together. So really take some time to think about it, pray about it, and just visualize what you want for your life. What is your ideal life? What's your ideal day look like? And put those things on your vision board.
Well, and it goes back to this first slide here. Think about who you want to be, health-wise, career-wise, personality-wise, and put those things on your vision board. You know, think about it and do your short-term and your long-term. And like Michele said, it's not all just Beachbody related. Like I wanted to do date night monthly with my husband because that relationship with my husband was important to me. You know, what trips do you want to go on? Michele and I were talking a while back about Disney, and you know, when that's something I want to do. I want to take my daughter to Disney, and I want to do it this year. And my husband thinks I'm crazy because we have a lot of travel planned, but it's something that I really want to do. And so I'm really going to work to get to the fact where I can pay for that solely with Beachbody money, and I can just surprise her with a trip and take my mom with us. On mine I have that I want to buy my own computer and not have to use my work one. Hasn't happened yet. I want to get my cars paid off. So what are some things, that you have that are pressing in your life that you want to take care of, and then go back to who you want to be? And some of these things are going to go on your board, year after year after year, because it's going to take time to reach those. So, apparently I was writing on my screen. Okay, do we want to go back to everyone? Hi.
Yes.
There's everybody. So do we want to open up to questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyone have questions? You can, I think, unmute yourself. Just click on your little microphone. Or comments, concerns. There is a couple announcements while you're thinking. Super Saturday is this weekend, so be sure that you find one. If you are an Emerald coach and there's not one near you, I think today is the last day for you to sign up to host your own, and you can just host it for you, and they'll send you the video, and you can watch the video and get it and watch it when everyone else is doing it. They're announcing where the Success Club 2018 trip is going to be. So they'll announce the top 10 coaches. And so if you don't have one near you and you're an Emerald coach, get on Team Beachbody or get into your coach online office as soon as we get off of this and register to do your own, or find one that's near you and get to it, because those are live events will change your business.
And next week, this weekend, they will announce where the 2018 Success Club trip will be. And in the FAQs, they have already uploaded all the information about registration, about payments, about payment dates, about qualifications, about dates that different levels are going to be able to register. The only thing they haven't disclosed is where the trip is. So if the 2018 Success Club trip is a priority or a goal for you, which it was a goal for me when I first became a coach, then you need to go into the Coach Online office, go into the FAQs, and just search 2018. That's all you need to search. And I think that FAQ numbers are like 1404, 1405, and maybe 1408, something like that. 1404, 1405, 1408.
14, yeah, you got it. That's what it is.
Okay. I'm a math teacher, so y'all, I remember numbers like that. But so if that's a priority for you, then go look that up and get it on your radar, because they will start registration next week. I think on the 9th is when elite coaches can register, or I don't know, I don't have it in front of me. And then like the next day on the 10th, All-Star Legends and Premier coaches can register. And then I think on the 13th is when they're going to open it up to just coaches, and you're going to have a pecking order now. And that list is already created. And if you go into your Coach Online office, underneath recognition, you can find and hit Success Club. You can find the 2018 trip, and there will be a link on there for the registration leaderboard, so to speak. So whatever Success Club point you earned in 2017 has placed you on a list for the 2018 registration. So you can go look and see where you are among the $450,000 coaches. So that's kind of fun to do. But when you register next week, you're going to pay your $300 deposit. So be prepared for that. So if you are wanting to go on that trip, and if you're going to work your butt off to earn it, then you need to set aside $300 so that you can pay for that deposit next week whenever registration opens. And the trips are so much fun.
And you earn money, double points this month for the Success Club.
Right. For every Success Club point you earn, typically you earn $10 to go towards the cost of your trip. But I think in January, they double that. So if you get one Success Club point, you actually get $20 to go towards your trip.
And then your trip can essentially be paid for.
Be paid for. Absolutely.
So I was looking it up. It's very exciting.
It is exciting.
Okay, questions? Anyone? Anyone? Sarah, you always have a question, don't you? No? You look like you're thinking about it. Oh, there's the push book. And the push journals she's releasing too, so you can go on and pre-order them, a 90-day one, or no, a 1 month one, 3 months, or a year. Okay. Michele, you're muted. So thank you all for being on with us tonight. We will get this, or I will get this uploaded and shared into the group so you can tag your coaches on there if you want them to see this. And we will also put the
Slides.
Thank you, Google Slides in our coach pages as well so that you can access them. But if you want to create those goals in a vision board and post it in the coach group, that would be amazing. And we can hold each other accountable. So have a super fabulous evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Would you like to smile for a photo? Yes. Are you ready? Everyone smile pretty. All right. Have a super fun night, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.